Ever since Beyond Light dropped, the Crimson has been feeling really strong, especially for those of us who play with controller, and the build I'm going to be showing you today makes it even more powerful and potentially one of the best hand cannons in the entire game. Now before you click away from the video and say, this guy is capping, Steady Hand is the best hand cannon, just hear me out for a second. This gun has the best of both worlds because it has the same time to kill as 140 RPM hand cannons like Dire Promise, but it also has the same damage as 120 RPM hand cannons like the Steady Hand. The combination of the lightning fast TTK and the massive damage output makes this weapon insane on its own, but it's even better with the right build. The way I'm going to structure this video is I'll first briefly explain the stats and why Crimson is becoming more popular every day, and then I'm going to get into the build I'm using, and finally wrap it up with some tips and recommendations on how you can get the best possible result while using this build. I want to add that some of the footage in this video was captured live on Twitch, so if you want to catch me over there, you can find me at twitch.tv/ShadowDestiny. I also want to thank you all for the insane growth I've been seeing across all my social medias. I truly appreciate your continued support. With that said, let's jump right into the video. I feel like this weapon wasn't very popular before Beyond Light because it was outshined by 150 RPM hand cannons and it didn't have much range, with severe damage falloff starting at 26 meters. Now that it has received a sizable range buff that allows it to deal full damage up to 33 meters, and 150s just got deleted, it has settled comfortably into the meta. In fact, its usage rate has been climbing steadily, and at time of recording it's statistically in the top 3 hand cannons for survival kills across all platforms. This hand cannon is unique because it has an optimal time to kill of 0.87 seconds, but it's also ridiculously forgiving if you don't hit all headshots, and let me demonstrate what I mean by that. In order to hit the optimal TTK against most resilience levels, you'll need to hit 6 crits and 1 body for a total of 7 bullets. But since Crimson fires 3-round bursts, the difference between shooting 7 bullets and shooting 9 bullets is only about 6 frames. And yeah, the 9 bullet kill only requires you to hit 2 headshots and 7 bodies, so it's very easy to achieve. When it comes to Crimson's overall place in the meta, there's no denying that it will get annihilated by 120s at anything further than 36 meters, but it definitely excels at those mid and close range gunfights. Within 33 meters, the reticle stickiness on controller is honestly pretty noticeable, and it will help you land all the shots in the burst, which makes this gun extremely consistent. I did try it on mouse and keyboard, and it's still viable in my opinion, but Crimson is kinda like Last Word in that it's noticeably more effective on controller. Now that you know a bit more about the weapon, here's the build that I'm using. I tried a variety of subclasses, but I found that Bottom Tree Golden Gun makes the Crimson even better because it gives bonus stability and handling on precision kills. When it comes to exotics, you can really run whatever you want, but Stompies are probably your best option. You can also effectively use any special weapon with this build, so pick whatever you're most comfortable with. For the armor mods, I'm using a pretty typical Charge with Light build, including Taking Charge, High Energy Fire, and Stacks on Stacks. For anyone who may be unaware, Taking Charge makes me become Charged with Light by picking up orbs, Stacks on Stacks doubles the amount of charges that I get, and High Energy Fire increases the damage that I deal with Crimson. This is pretty important because, as I mentioned in the intro, Crimson deals as much damage as aggressive hand cannons, so it is able to 2-burst with basically any damage boosting perk. As you can see here, I'm doing 37 damage per shot and 111 damage per burst, so I can easily 2-burst any Guardian. I love this build because it has some super insane perks that synergize with each other and allow for an aggressive but unusually safe playstyle. Since the gun gives you a full magazine on precision kills and also regenerates your health, you can outplay large groups of enemies in 6v6 because you never have to stop to reload or regenerate your health. It's also perfect for Rumble because you can just continually engage opponents without stopping. I think your playstyle will probably vary a bit depending on the special weapon that you choose. When I've tried pairing it with a sniper, I pulled it out for the occasional super long range fight and used the Crimson everywhere else. I also tried pairing it with a shotgun, and I ended up using the shotgun more defensively to counter other people who are pushing me really fast. Since I've been using this build for a while now, I've got some tips so that you can rack up the most kills and just find the most success overall. This gun is fantastic for engaging multiple opponents, but you really have to pay attention to what angles you're peeking, and it's always advantageous to stay near cover. When you get a kill, the health regeneration takes a little bit of time to fully heal you, so you gotta be able to duck into cover for just a split second before you get back into the fight. Generally speaking, it's also just a good idea to stay near cover so that you can dip if you start losing a gunfight. The second thing I'll say is you should definitely pace your shots. The recoil pattern on Crimson can be pretty weird if you're not accustomed to it, so it's totally worth slowing your rate of fire to ensure that you hit mostly precision shots and cause your gun to reload itself. Even though this weapon is pretty forgiving and you can get away with hitting mostly body shots, you still want to be able to take advantage of that auto reload, and you're going to want to make sure that you're 3 or 2 bursting every single kill. Lastly, do not fight at scout rifle range. 120 RPM hand cannons will start to destroy you once you get further than 33 meters away, and as a reminder, this is what 33 meters looks like while you're aiming down the sights. Just to kind of sum up my thoughts on this topic, I feel like Crimson will continue to become more popular as more people realize it's actually pretty insane, especially for those of us who play on controller. I think Crimson definitely has the capability to compete with 120s, and I will always say this, but at the end of the day, the best weapon for you depends on what suits your personal playstyle and preferences. 120s also might get nerfed in future seasons, which would make Crimson even more dominant in this meta. I've got to thank you guys for all the support on the channel recently, and I'm sure some of you guys are coming over from the videos I recently created with my friends Brave and Patty Cakes. If you've been living under a rock and you're not already subscribed to them, they both make great Destiny videos and overall outstanding FPS content, so I'd highly recommend checking out their channels, and they'll both be linked in the video description. Before we end the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a community Discord server with a lot of knowledgeable players on all platforms. If you're looking to connect with me, ask questions about Destiny, or just find some people to play with, the link to join is in the video description. With that said, thank you all for coming and watching. Please leave a like as it really helps my channel grow and reach a larger audience on YouTube, and I hope to see all of you in the next video.